on March 13th, Autodesk retired Subscription Center and has transitioned everything over to Autodesk Account. If you are an Autodesk software user, you should have received an email from Autodesk similar to the one that's on the screen right now. But even if you didn't receive the email, your existing login information should allow you to access Autodesk Account. Now, why did Autodesk do this? They decided that they could improve the user experience with Autodesk Account. And we're going to show it a little bit later, but it is definitely has more personalized content, and it does have a better user interface. It does have better performance, and it's nice to have everything located in a single location versus scattered about the way it was previously. So, whether you have Autodesk maintenance subscription, desktop subscription, cloud service subscription, or if you just have Autodesk products that are not on subscription, you're going to be able to access this using the Autodesk account by going to www.autodesk.com/account. And again, with your existing login credentials. If you don't have your login credentials, you can have that reset by visiting autodesk.com/account, or you can always contact us here at Microsol Resources to assist you with that. Now, that being said, I want to also just take this opportunity to mention that perpetual licenses on maintenance subscription will continue as default, and they do provide the greatest value long term. So we feel that desktop subscription definitely does have a place, and depending on your workflow and your software usage, maybe a mix of both perpetual licenses and desktop subscription might be appropriate for you. And I also like to mention a little bit about desktop subscription since it's relatively new. Desktop subscription is available quarterly and annually, and it's also either currently available multi-year term or it will be available on a multi-year term. So if you'd like any information on desktop subscription, we'd be happy to talk to you about it. You can contact us here at Microsol Resources. You can also visit our desktop subscription landing page on our website. And I'm just going to scroll down and show you a couple of things that we have on this website that could be very helpful with giving you familiarity, including these videos here. We just updated our videos with this new overview one, just under 3 minutes. So that should be quite helpful. So, I know I mentioned that Autodesk Account is for non-subscription account management as well as subscription holders, but for the most part, we're going to be focusing on subscription benefits. We're going to discuss the latest releases and enhancements, the flexible licensing rights, how to obtain support within Autodesk Account, your cloud benefits, and that includes maintenance cloud benefits as well as subscription cloud benefits, and how to go about administering those. If you are a one-person firm, a lot of this still applies to you. If you are a multi-person firm, this as well. If you're a one-person firm, when I'm talking about management and users, your role is probably going to be both of those. So just keep that in mind. Of course, any questions, don't hesitate to ask us as we go along. So today's agenda, this is what we're going to be covering. We're going to go over how to download products and trials, and we're going to go over the flexible licensing rights, which includes the previous use and home use and how to access it now within Autodesk Account. We're going to go over the technical support. I should mention Microsol Resources offers our customers technical support, troubleshooting support, and that is already available to you by emailing us or phoning us, but we're going to cover the support available within Autodesk Account. And we're going to go over how to go ahead and grant your users permission to access software and cloud benefits applicable to your products, and also reporting tools. We're going to discuss cloud credit usage and how to monitor and receive more cloud credits. And if Autodesk Account is working on the Internet allows, we're going to go through a quick tour and go over how to go about looking at some of these things that we're going to be sharing with you via screen captures. We're going to try and do it a little live in just a few.
Okay, so now we're going to go over how to download products and updates within Autodesk Account, how to access previous version and home licensing rights, as well as how to get some technical support. Okay, so let's get started looking at how to download your products. So once we are in our Autodesk account, we simply go to the top navigation bar and click Management. Then on the left navigation pane, click Products and Services. To just view products, simply click Products. This will bring up your available software. There is the Download Now button as a default, as you can see, but you can also click on More Actions. This will bring up a drop-down menu where you can find other options to install now or do a browser download. When you click on Download Now, a window will appear where you can pick the product version, the platform you are working on, and the language you are working in. All admins and users assigned permission can download from this page. You can also download your software by opening up the drawers on the management page. To do this, simply click on the arrow next to the product you would like to access. This will list the product details. You will find the current and previous version, serial numbers, and product keys. You will also see a download button as well. This is just another place on the interface where you have the option to download. Clicking Download will bring up the Download Now pop-up window where you can confirm the version, platform, and language to proceed with the download. Within Autodesk account, you can easily find all available updates and extensions for your software. This is an improvement. So click on the Product Updates under Products and Services on the left navigation pane. Admins can choose to ignore, download, or make these updates available for named users. Okay, so back on the management page, I wanted to briefly mention the quick links options. Clicking on Product Enhancements will bring you to this page where you can download available software enhancements. Note how easy it is to find these product enhancements and updates all in one place. Okay, also under Quick Links, you can also find a link to help guide you in installing the Network License Manager should you need it. This link will take you to Autodesk Knowledge Network where you can find tips on installing the most recent version of the Network License Manager. Okay, so let's go back to the management page. I want to briefly go over how to request physical media. Electronic download is the encouraged method for software delivery, but some Autodesk users prefer a physical copy for download, so this is an option. On the management page, under Products and Services, locate the product you would like to request physical media for. Click More Options under Requests. You'll see a Get Physical Copy button. Clicking this button will bring you to this page. So select the product line, language, and quantity. Add your shipping address and click Next Step. Verify your product and shipping address and click Go to Checkout. Okay, so now let's take a look at how to access flexible licensing rights, including home use and previous version use that subscription customers are entitled to. Once again, we find ourselves back at the Products and Services page. Okay, so before I continue, hopefully you're noticing a pattern here. That is, we have been on this Product and Services page a lot. So many of the actions that you'll want to take are right here on this page. So this Autodesk account interface is much more intuitive than Subscription Center was. As you can see, your downloads, updates, and other benefits are very accessible. I wanted to mention this in case you're thinking these steps are looking awfully familiar, because that's what I thought. Okay, so continuing, to request a previous version of a particular software, on that Product and Services page, find your product and click on More Actions to bring up the drop-down menu. Under Requests, click Get Previous Versions. A chart will pop up that will help guide you to the next step of getting previous versions. If you are on an active maintenance subscription contract, you do not need to make a previous version request of networked licenses. This is only necessary for standalone licenses on maintenance subscription as indicated on the chart. Requesting home use is a similar process. Go back to the Products and Services page and click on the drop-down menu. Under Requests, click on Get Home Use License. As with previous use, the chart will also pop up with a guide to the procedure for home use. Note that network licenses on maintenance subscription request is needed for home use, okay? And for standalone licenses on maintenance subscription, you just use your existing serial number of machine for home or for secondary use. And because desktop subscription licenses are not networked, home use is allowed without a request. Okay, moving along to accessing technical support within Autodesk account. Before we get into specifics about requesting support, it is worth mentioning the in-context help, a great new feature of Autodesk account. This feature serves helpful content at the right time while you're performing certain tasks within Autodesk account. This in-context help also includes more information on a product, service, or benefit. Of course, you still have access to your subscription support within Autodesk account. You can access this support at the top right corner of Autodesk account. Clicking on Browse Support and Learning will take you to Autodesk Knowledge Network, where you can find detailed support for your products. Autodesk Knowledge Network is really a great resource. Clicking on Contact Us under Support on the upper right-hand corner of Autodesk account will also bring you back to the Autodesk Knowledge Network, where you can find more detailed tips or instructions on how to resolve a specific issue. You can see here specific issues listed, such as account management, license management, activation and registration. Is just another great resource to be aware of. Okay, so clicking View My Support Cases will bring up this familiar pop-up box where you can create a web support case with Autodesk. Also, for those of you with Autodesk Advanced Support, you can access your phone support in this location as well. Okay, so Rowena will soon talk more on how to manage users and benefits, but while we're on the topic of phone support, I will very briefly mention that admins can manage phone support by clicking on the Manage Users button. And then on the Manage Phone Support link under Quick Links, you then will, you click the Manage Phone Support under Quick Links that admins will see. And then this box will then appear, and then admins can manage this benefit from within this box. Okay, almost done with this portion. So far, we've covered how to download products and updates, how to access flexible licensing, as well as how to get technical support in the new Autodesk account. I'll now pass the reins back to Rowena, who will go over the remaining topics.
Yes, as I was saying, we're going to go over the manage permissions, the reporting tools, and if the internet allows and if the Autodesk account interface is working properly, we will go over a few of those things so that we can just look at it more comfortably and live. So this screen capture is basically something that admins from Subscription Center are probably very familiar with because things were scattered about, and at some point they got to an interface that looked like this. And this was the one that was working pretty well for Subscription Center. So Autodesk has decided that this is how the face of Autodesk account is looking now for management and as well as any user and one-person firm as well. So as you can see, we're going to start out, like Cora already went through the products and services, and I highlighted the two sections that I'm going to cover here, which are the cloud service usage, and to skip over the devices for now and go through users. And I am going to touch briefly on the contracts and orders as well, because that's pretty helpful. Let me also mention that we plan to do a web release on Tuesday, June 9th. That's part of our summer series webinars. So as Autodesk adds and improves upon Autodesk account, we're also going to stay abreast of those changes and work on making sure that everyone's informed of them and what Autodesk is starting to offer. So this screen looks familiar. Cora was going through a lot of things, and this is kind of where you end up. Instead of a lot of places, when you get to Autodesk account, it's either a profile or a management. And that really applies for everyone, including users, because users are still managing certain aspects of their account. But right over here, I'm going to take this as a perspective of an administrator, which is either a contract manager or perhaps a software coordinator. But if you have a one-person firm, you fill those roles as well. You have the choice of either going to manage users over here, or you can just go ahead and you would like end up here, but you'd scroll down right over here till you see this section and you click here. Now from there, either of those options, you would come to a screen like this. And this screen basically represents our Microsol Resources account and the users that we have assigned to our account. Now, if I wanted to add a user, already we have existing users, and in your firm, if you have existing users, they will show up similarly. If you don't, that's all right. You know, you can add your users here. Now, you add users based on the software that you have. You can add, let's say you have one seat of software. You can add more than one user, but when we go through assigning that user benefits, that's where it gets limited. So I'm going to talk about that briefly going forward. But right now, let me just show you here. So you would click like add, and you can either add users, that's like individually, one at a time, or you can do a bulk add. Now, if you do a bulk add, right over here you get a larger body where you would just enter in the information just like it appears here. Autodesk will give you an example, and then you can add up to 50 users at a time in a bulk add. And then you would click Save and Continue. The default here is I'd like to add access to these users now, and I will go through what that means. But you don't have to add access. If you just want to start adding users and adding access later, that's absolutely fine. But we're going to just stick with the default. And if you're doing an individual user, you wouldn't click the bulk add. You just click this here. And here's an example. I'm going to add myself with my personal account, and I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Continue. If I wanted to add just 2 users, maybe I just click Add Another User now, and I can go ahead and just add just a few users instead of doing the bulk add. Now, once we add that user, and we choose to give them the benefits, something like this appears. And there, if you can see here, there's a lot more to it because we have a lot of products ourselves here, but maybe your screen will just have a smaller amount of products, but I'm going to try and do that live because it's hard to really capture what we want to do here in one screen capture, even a few. But just to point this out, just in case the internet isn't working and cooperating properly, this would be me. I'm test message here. And it says all benefits product. It defaults to all, which means that it's showing the benefits and the products and services that can be added for this user, test message. If you just want to pick, let's say you don't want to give this user anything much except downloads, you can go ahead and assign them here by just checking here, downloads, and you're good to go. If this is, let's say, a product that doesn't include a lot of benefits besides the basic benefits, which is storing, sharing, and viewing with Autodesk account, then you would click on Autodesk 360. And again, I'm going to show you this live in a few, but this Autodesk 360 basically is just the basic privileges that you would give someone, and then you click assign, and that's all that would do. But if you have something like 3ds Max Design, and you clicked on it, you would have the ability to pick different benefits that are tied particularly to this product here. And right now it shows that I have 24 seats, so I can assign 24 users, and users are associated by their email address. Once 24 users are assigned and I assign them to this product, I wouldn't be able to assign any more. That does not apply to things like downloading or other benefits like extensions, but we'll go through that shortly. So let me just go back to show, like once I, let's say, click on a few things and click Save over here, you're going to get taken to a screen like this. And it's going to tell you if you picked a product, it's going to say something like this, that, you know, I may have 100 credits assigned to that user, and I can check the usage by the user's report page. And here I am. I appear here. Now, this status column here is supposed to tell an administrator when a user has accepted and logged into Autodesk account and can start working. But I have to tell you, in my experience, this is pretty unreliable. A lot of times it's one way or the other. It really doesn't have a true representation of what the user has done. Now, when it says may have received 100 cloud credits, that's kind of important because those cloud credits are the individual cloud credits, 100, that comes with the seat of software that you may have assigned to this user. However, if this email address has eaten up 100 cloud credits already on a different product, it's not going to give me another 100. It's going to say, no, if this user needs cloud credits, they're going to have to purchase them. Those are shared cloud credits. And we're going to go over that in more detail. I just wanted to mention that here. So we're going to move on, and we're going to go to the cloud reporting tool right now. And I plan to go over this when we access Autodesk Account Live. but I want to show you, here's the area where you would allocate benefits to users after you add them. And let's see here. So it's sort of like the same thing. You would kind of go to management and you'd scroll down, and then as you're going down here, this reporting thing would highlight and you would click on it. And then it would take you to a screen similar to this. Every screen for everyone will look a little different because it's unique to the administrator. This is for an administrator, or if it's a one-person firm. And you're going to see here, all usage means all usage within the users for this particular contract or contracts that the administrator's email is associated with. Now, if you are an end user, you're going to see my usage. You're not going to see this all usage area here, but it's still going to look very familiar to what you're looking at now. So individual usage right here just kind of gives you just an overview, broad overview here of the cloud credits used and what's being consumed. And this is individual cloud credits. So this is the 100 assigned for every user you've allocated. That doesn't mean you only have, let's say, this amount of individual cloud credits to be used. It means that unless you assign a user to a product that has 100 individual cloud credits, it's not going to really say anything more than that here. Now over here, because I am the administrator of 3 different contracts, that's why I have this 3 different contract information here. And basically, again, it's just a broad overview. We're going to drill down. And I know this seems like an overwhelming amount of cloud credits, but it's just because of our account. It's not a commercial account. So we have many, many products and many seats of it. So that's why it may look a little overwhelming here. And I don't want to ignore this area here that says get cloud credits. There's quite a number of places you can do things with Autodesk account. Same thing you could probably do 4 or 5 places, and that includes getting cloud credits. You'll see this in a few different places. And while you can absolutely click here and purchase cloud credits by going on the Autodesk store, we would ask that you purchase those cloud credits through us, your reseller, Microsol resources, because as a Platinum partner, we are able to make sure that those cloud credits get onto your account and that you're able to use it as fast as possible. So we would recommend going through us rather than going through the store, and then if something goes wrong, we have to jump in and try and get those cloud credits to you, as soon as possible. So I'm going to go to another screen right here and show you we're still here. We're still with the admin on the cloud service usage. We're still on the all usage, but I just wanted to show you that I expanded this drawer here to just give you an idea of what's available for an admin to see. And you can see that it's telling you the tasks that are consuming the cloud credits, including analysis here and rendering, and it's giving you an idea of what's being used here. Now, as an administrator, I can see that these are the tasks being consumed by my users. But what I can't do right now is I can't exactly see, what users particularly are doing these things. And the reason I mention that is because we've gotten feedback from users of Autodesk Cloud Credits that, hey, we're really thinking about, can we build this out? Can we put this for a project? And right now, Autodesk hasn't made that easy to do. If you are a user, you will get a My Usage report that looks similar to this, and then maybe you could send that to the administrator and say, well, I did this lighting analysis and rendering for this particular model, so that's where you can build it out. But right now, they just haven't set that functionality up yet. They know that it's being asked for, and maybe they will in the near future. We'll definitely keep an eye out for it. Now, I just want to jump to the My Usage, which is what all administrators will see, their own individual uses, as well as all end users will see. So it looks pretty familiar, just like the other page here, and unfortunately, I'm not doing that much. So that's why mine reflects very, very little activity, except for some storage over here. But if you are using any of these tasks that consume cloud credits, whether they are individual, which is the free 100 capped off ones tied to your email address, or the shared cloud credits that are purchased by the contract manager or software coordinator, you will see that here. And just a note on shared cloud credits. Shared cloud credits are the cloud credits that are purchased by an administrator, and they are tied to a contract. So when you purchase shared cloud credits, you tie them, you associate them to a contract. And what you cannot do is allocate them for users. Just want to mention that. So if you have a user that is a power user and they're burning through your cloud credits, you can't really say, well, we're going to buy 1,000, but only 500 are going to be for this user's email address. And it doesn't work like that just yet. It may in the future, but right now, the way you decide who and who cannot consume these purchase shared cloud credits is when you assign them access and you assign and allocate benefits to them, which we're going to go over shortly. That's how you would choose whether they can render or do analysis and things like that. So continuing drilling down with the My Usage, still some more information. I opened up some stuff here, and over here it says access to your cloud services. And if I were to click that, which I'll probably do in the live demo, it'll take you right back to the products page that Cora was going through earlier. That's like above this section here, still under management. And you would see the cloud services available that you could access. And over here, if I did have any kind of these cloud credits for the share individual, as a user, I would be able to see them right over here. It would be somewhere over here, and again, I can share that with the administrator if they want to know what I'm doing with these cloud credits and who they should be billing for it, perhaps. And jumping over here, now I went down to by users. Now this area here would just be for administrators because they would be the ones, contract managers or software coordinators, to see what the user's activity is with the cloud credits. And as you can see, these are our Microsol resources, colleagues and staff, and this is the cloud credits that you're using. And again, individual right here, the ones that come with each assigned email address, and the shared, the ones we've purchased. And it just kind of goes with the contract number, tells you how many cloud credits that they've used. But as you can see, looking at this as an administrator, my colleague here has used 44 shared cloud credits, but I can't see what he's used them for. I mean, I can ascertain from the previous screen that he's using the ones for the lighting and the rendering, but if there was more users used them, I wouldn't be able to know that. I would have to say, hey, can you send me a report on your individual cloud credit usage? So now that we've gone through a brief overview, what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and access Subscription Center and go through this and see if I can just point out a couple of things that might be helpful. Let's see. Okay, so let me see if I've got my login details that are already here. And let me say that our account may look mildly different because it is not a commercial account. So if you're like, hey, that looks just a little different, that would be the reason why. But it shouldn't be much different. The interface should look very, very similar, and what we're going to be demonstrating should work for all commercial accounts. So whether you are a user or an administrator, this is what you're going to see here. You might go to the profile page, right? It might start you out here where I'm going to click on. It might start you somewhere out here. And, if you don't have any information here like how I have here, you can edit your profile here and you can fill in that information if you'd like. This is personal information about you. This is not something that would be perhaps appear on your Autodesk account, but you're welcome to put in some information about you. As Autodesk gets more into social websites, this information might come in handy. Now, the security settings is a good area because this is where you know your Autodesk ID, you can verify your email address is correct, and you can change your password if you need to. This linked account area here, mine isn't able to really click on these things, but if you are a commercial account, you would be able to. You may choose to link your Autodesk account to Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and the like LinkedIn. This might just be because it tells you right here, you could just stay a little bit more connected. Maybe share things that way in a better way. And preferences is the language area. So, I have it defaulted to English, but you can absolutely change the language if you'd like. And they've got quite a bit of languages. I would assume that they would be adding more. So this is really the profile section. A few things, not too much. It's pretty clean. Now we're going to move over to management. And this interface looks a little familiar, right? This is what Cora and I have both kind of been working with, and this is what you will be seeing as well. It's taking a little time to load, and plus we do have a lot of products here, and I believe I am using Chrome, and seems to be working today, which is great. So basically, these are the products that we have here. It's overwhelming, but again, most people aren't going to have this tremendous list to go through. And I just want to touch base just to point out, even though I'm not going to really be going through this, that this is where Cora was, right, under products and services. And all means all products and services, but you can whittle it down to just the products, or you can go to services. Now, you might look at all this and go, wow, we've got a lot of stuff. Not always. Sometimes these services aren't available. Sometimes when you think you've got it, because it says access now, it's actually going to take you to an informational page, and you can download a trial. So it's kind of a little difficult sometimes to know what you actually have when it comes to the services. Maybe they'll be improving that, making that cleaner. And even though Cora already covered that, I just want to show you it is here. You know, if you've got this product, here you go. You can download with the browser download, or you can pick other ways to download it. You can go to here, you can read it, previous use, home use, get a physical copy. So just like Cora kind of showed you in her slide, it does work that way. But we are going to go ahead and jump to the users area. And just like I demonstrated some slides, I'm going to click on it right here. And I'm going to go ahead and I am going to demonstrate how to add someone. So you can go to add users, or you can go to bulk add, but right here I'm going to try and add me again. I deleted me earlier today, or as it wouldn't allow me to duplicate this, but hopefully it will right now since I did delete me. And go ahead and hit, I'm not going to hit add another user. This is checked off, and that's what I'd like it to be. So I'm going to click save and continue. And once this screen comes up over here, I am going to just, it's already defaulted here that I have the products downloads. And if this, if I just wanted, again, the basics, I would just assign this user, which is me, the photo to 3D, the storage, the Autodesk remote, the basic services. I can either click one of them if I just want to assign one, or I can go ahead and click assign all. And as you can see, then all three are assigned. But whether you click one or you click all, you're losing a seat. Just keep that in mind. So you can't like say, okay, we'll assign one user to this one user to this one user to this one, and we've got one seat of software, or three. You know, it doesn't work that way. You would need 3 seats of software to do something like that. But if I can scroll down a little bit, I want to show you what most people would be dealing with who have like suites of software that have the ability to do tasks that credits. I'm going to go to a building design suite ultimate, let's say. So if you click this drawer here, this is the benefits that are tied to this product. And we have, I think it's 69 seats here. And again, if I want this user, test message, me, that I just picked, to have all of these benefits, and you can see the basic benefits are included, the photo to 3D, the storage. But if I want them to have rendering and lighting analysis, which is what this product can do, I can click assign. I can click it right here. And every product is checked off, and the seat count goes down. But if I don't want them to have access to all this, just rendering, I click here, but again, the seat count does go down. This user is now associated with 1 seat of this product. And as I said, once you give this user access to anything that consumes cloud credits, then they can burn through your cloud credits. They can burn through all of them. You can't limit them. So that's just something to keep in mind. That's why sometimes you might say, you know what, this user doesn't need that, don't want them eating them up inadvertently. I'm just going to pick, you know, something that doesn't consume cloud credits here, like InfoWorks 360 or something like that. So if I'm going to go ahead and assign this to myself and click Save. I could also cancel if I wanted to at that point. So once I click Save, it should go similar to what the screen capture showed us right here, saying I may have that 100 cloud credits. That's the individual ones, not purchase, and that's only if that email address has not eaten up 100 cloud credits already. If I have, it's not going to work here. So if, here I am, right here, and you see it already says that I'm already logged in. So it's kind of unreliable. Maybe it's because I've done it before, but that's not really that critical. If I want to edit the access, I can do that anytime by clicking here. I can go ahead and see what's been checked off for me and change it. There's no point really adding two products for extra cloud credit. That won't work. If you say this user needs, something that exists in another product, you can go ahead and choose an additional product from the list available to you, but it's not going to give me another 100 individual cloud credits. The system is set up to only allow for 100, and then it caps you off. You can also delete a user just easily by this X button right here. And it asks you if you want to cancel or you want to remove. And once you go ahead and do it, it's done. That doesn't mean that I don't have an Autodesk account. It means it's no longer tied to this contract. So ex-employees or anything like that, that's how you would end up doing it. And they don't lose their personal information. They just are no longer associated with the contract. Some of these don't have X's. Why? Because those are administrators as well. So I don't have a right to just X them out over here. So I just want to jump to the reporting. That's how you add users and edit access and delete them. And we can, if there's any more questions on that, I'd be happy to go through them. And here's my colleague Cora. I'll just show you, like, she's tied. I can just view quickly what Cora has here. She's got product extensions, product downloads. She's tied to a Building Design Suite Ultimate. And she's a software coordinator. And that I can do for any user here. I can just view what they have. If I want to edit it, I can go ahead and do so. And as Cora pointed out, this is where if I had phone support, and what phone support is Autodesk Advanced Phone Support that can be added to almost on maintenance subscription and other subscriptions. So if you're interested in receiving 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, phone support from Autodesk, please contact us at Microsol Resources and we'd be happy to price that option out for you. So that is how you go ahead and add and edit users, but let me jump to what we showed in the slides about the cloud credit usage. So this screen should look very familiar because this is the screen capture from my account that I took earlier. So as you can see, all usage, my usage, that's exactly how you would have it. You would go to management, and hopefully this will come back fast enough. And from here, you can see it starts you out mostly in products and services, but you would scroll down to reporting, and you would click on it, and it would take you right to that cloud usage area that we were at earlier. And from there, like this is the default screen, the products and services, but you scroll down here, go ahead and left click, you end up here. And if you are an end user, you will see my usage. And if you are an administrator, you will see both these options here. And from here, again, you can drill down and see more. You can go ahead and get it here, but we'd rather if you purchase it through us. And you can go ahead and access cloud services from here. So Autodesk likes to put things, at your fingertips with Autodesk account. You could have done this here, but you might just feel like doing it from there, and they make that available to you. And over here is where you would access them. And like I said, some of these aren't actually available to you, and when you go ahead and try and access it because you're like, wow, I guess I have this product, maybe not. And I really don't have an explanation for why Autodesk does that, but I'm assuming they do that because they want you to try these new products, and they think it's a great way of giving you access to knowing that it exists and possibly trying it. Like here, right here is rendering. And if you went ahead and clicked it, because I'm tied to an Ultimate Suite, this should work for me. And it'll take me to a website that you might be familiar with already, and this is the rendering.360.autodesk.com site where I can go ahead and render. I don't have Revit on my computer, so I'm not going to go through this further, but we'd be happy to if you would like us to. We definitely could do that and discuss how this cloud consuming task would work for you. But going back to where we were, if I can locate it. So I want to just show you one other thing over here. I think we've covered the reporting effectively for now, but I want to show you this area that I really am a fan of, this contracts and orders area. With Autodesk branching out into various subscriptions as well as cloud services, it's nice to see that they have this area where you can really keep track of all your contracts, whether you have a desktop contract or perpetual license contract or a cloud services contract. I am the administrator of 3 contracts, so I have them over here. And I have the terms over here. I happen to have perpetual licenses, so these are not desktop subscriptions, but if I did, they would be here. And, you know, they have some more information, like 84 products of this, and it gives me a nice, if I just hover over it, I can just see what's on it. I don't have to waste my time clicking. If I have multiple contracts, I can just look and be like, okay, this is my InfraWorks contract, and so forth and so on. Now, I'm going to go to screen capture and show you what an example of a detail would look like, only because if I drill down here, you know, it would get to some sensitive information, which wouldn't be a good idea for me to show. So I'm just going to show an example of that in a screen capture in a minute. But basically, as you can see, you can literally click on this, and it would drill down to the screen capture I'm going to show you. And over here, same scenario. If you click on this, it would take you and it drill down here, and you would have a lot of information like your serial number data and things like that. So I think it's so helpful to just have it right over here at your fingertips. A lot of times we get calls, which we're absolutely happy to take, about serial numbers and product keys and things like that. When does their subscription expire? And just having this data at your fingertips right here in the management area is quite helpful, I find. So let me go to the other screen capture. This is just an example of how to view your contract details. Again, it's the same area where I was. Let me see, same area here. And this is really nice. Even if you had multiple contracts, this is the details for this particular dummy subscription account. But like literally, if I clicked here, let's pretend, this is what would come up. A really nice detail. And again, it says this is for admins only, but if you're a one-person firm, you are the admin for that, so you would be able to see this as well. And it just tells you product, seats, support level. Basic is for the support that Cora explained to you. The advanced support, it would say that here if you had that. And it even mentions to you some renewal information. And as you can see over here, it tells you the product, it tells you the serial number, it tells you the product key, the seats, the support, it mentions your reseller, and it goes over some renewal data. And even from here, if I did have this live and I drill down here, you could even see previous serial numbers. So I find that is also extremely helpful. If you needed your previous serial numbers, part of that previous and prior use, it would be easily accessible over here if it existed for you. So with that, I would like to just say that I'm going to close it out for now, and we're going to take some questions in a few, and I'm going to pass this to Cora here, but I think I just want to mention these are the topics that we covered so far: the downloading products and trials, the flexible licensing rights, the technical support, the granting the users the access to the software and the cloud benefits, and the reporting tools. And we did like a brief tour of the Autodesk interface.
Okay, and we already mentioned some of these resources earlier in the presentation, but it's just worth mentioning again. So hopefully we've helped shed some light on this new site. So please refer to our website and our blog for more information on the transition to Autodesk account, or for other information on topics concerning the AEC industry. Of course, Microsol Resources customers have access to our technical support, but our blog and websites are great tools for solving issues and learning. So if you just go to our site here, you can find great information on our different Autodesk, the different subscription offerings. here. And then if you click on the Resources tab, this will take you to some great links and great videos from some of our previous webinars. Here we have A60 for civil engineers, and then we have real-time collaboration with Bluebeam. We have a lot of different great videos here that are posted under this Resources tab. And then also you can access our blog just by clicking here, and we have a lot of great blog posts, related to Autodesk account, as well as a lot of great technical support articles. So you can just search up here for any specific topic, any keywords, and you can see what pops up. So it's just a great resource.